call them up at a different time. Oral communications, I have one request from Wally Gutierrez.
My name is Wally Gutierrez, and I want to thank Mayor Pfeiler for giving me the opportunity to come up to the dais and speak. I'm actually very frustrated today. I've been coming to these council meetings doing oral communications a number of times. I've done presentations like last council meeting. I wanted to do a little video of what was being said at the hospital, and I went to Marcia, and I said, I'd like to do this. She said, I need it in CD and give it to me, and we'll play it. So I made a CD, played it. I guess there was some technical difficulties. So I went back to her, and she says, to make it easier, what we need is a DVD. So I made a DVD, and I gave it to her on 2 days before, and I said, hey, can you play? She said, no problem. Today around 2:30, I got a call from Marcia saying that the mayor is not allowing me to play this. And I said, well, why? And she says, she's just not. So she said that Jeff was that she talked to Jeff up. I called Jeff up. And I said, Jeff, what happened? She said, well, the mayor doesn't want you to play it. And I said, well, you know, this is freedom of speech. I said, is the mayor now censoring people on oral communication? And he says, well, no, she's not trying to do that. You could do this, but you can't do that portion. And I says, let me tell you, I get my 3 minutes. I should be able to try to convince this council that they're in the right direction or the wrong direction. And I said, well, what happens? He says, well, normally in these situations where there's two sides, I usually see what the flavor of the council is, and we go from there. No big deal. The thing that frustrates me is this council always talks about technology. We can see the council meetings on TV. We have these overhead slides that we're able to play. Technology is very important. But when we bring a little bit of technology in oral communication, the Mayor Pfeiler, says, no, you can't do it. This is the same mayor that's on the ad hoc committee that's overseeing the hospital, the largest project ever done in the city of Escondido. And when she created this ad hoc committee, how many meetings has she had in 2 months? 0. Not one. The old ad hoc committee meetings, they would at least have meetings. They would go communicate with Palomar Pomerado, but Lori will not. She won't set up a meeting. They have not had one. We've been looking under all the information. There hasn't been one. This is also the same this is still the same Mayor Lori Holt-Pfeiler that was on Proposition BB's committee. And she's also the one that was on the foundation that gave $375,000 to Proposition BB to help pass this proposition that's going to build us this hospital of the future. She's accused us in the newspaper, and if you could bring this up, Mr. Brindle, as being patently false, that the stuff that we say is patently false. So how do we prove to this council and this community that what we're saying is correct? The way we do it is we actually got minutes of these meetings, and we want to educate the public. Like I said, this is censorship. You should be ashamed of yourself, Mayor Pfeiler. I am ashamed of you, and hopefully this community is too. They have played these videos in the past, like I've said. If they're not going to let me play it, I asked the city attorney, what policy do we have on what we are allowed to play and what we're not allowed to play? Do we have one?
You can't ask the city attorney a question.
I can't ask questions either? Okay.
No, you can't.
What I would like to do is one thing that Jeff brought up. I said, what happens in these situations? He says, you know, we got to see what the flavor of the council is. What I would like is this council to give me the thumbs up to play this video. It's not pornography. It's nothing like that. You guys have seen it last week or last council meeting. It just didn't have any voice. And, you know, I would really appreciate if they would let me play this video.
Mr. Gutierrez, your time is up.
Okay, one last thing.
Okay.
If you go to the second page I have, because Mayor Pfeiler has motivated us a little bit more, what we've done now is we've put this on YouTube. If the city wants to censor us, the World Wide Web won't. So if you guys get a chance, go to youtube.com, put in PPH Health, and you can see where it says Dr. Rivera. You will see what I was trying to play, and you tell me if that is something that shouldn't be played at the council meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So you are accurate that I made the decision today to not allow the DVD to be played. That's my interpretation of state law in the open meeting, that you have the opportunity to have direct communication with the council, and that a DVD would be not necessarily direct communication. That is my interpretation of state law. If the council would like, there is no policy from the council from our policy. If the council would like to have a different policy, this allows the council to put this on the agenda for a future item, and then we can have a discussion about whether we want to have DVDs and allow DVD is to be played during oral communication. So it's
Well,
not
I want to thank you for
no,
replying to me.
We're
Yeah.
not going to have a dialogue. You've had your opportunity
No,
this
I want to thank you for
afternoon.
replying to me because that's the first time you have, so thank you.
No, I want to explain this to the council so that the council can understand the process that's in place today. Should the council want to have a policy on this, then somebody should agenda it so that we can have a discussion about DVDs and what we would like to do as our own city council.
Then I would move, if this is appropriate
No,
spot.
you can just ask that it come back.
To put this on the future agenda item so that we can discuss this. And obviously, we need a policy. When we have this watchdog guy that rails on the
But
cops.
let's not discuss that here. Let's wait until we discuss. You can
Well,
include
this is
that
the reason
kind of-
why we have to have the policy, because if we're going to accept that, then we should have accepted the DVD.
But I just want to have a comment. I will second the motion to discuss this. I don't think there is a policy against a video right now, so the present policy is vague, and I think I would strongly respect the First Amendment rights for anybody to address the council on any issues, including videos. There have been some other media presentation, and I would agree with you, Mayor, that we have to have a policy. We should have the policy before we start making judgment calls who can use what at the council meeting. And just to be fair to Mr. Gutierrez, that last time he put the video and the audio was not right. So our staff asked him to bring it again and replay it. So I would personally, as one council member, would hope that you would reconsider your decision and allow
No, I'm
the
not
video.
reconsidering.
Okay,
I'm not.
fine.
We're not going to discuss
That's
this. We're
fine.
not reconsidering the decision. I believe that if you show the DVD today, then it sets the council policy. I would like for the council to have the opportunity to set their own policy. So that's why this process is going forward as it is today. And that's just sets it up that way.
Okay, so
We
we're
move
going to
on
vote.
to our. We don't need a motion. This will just come back.
Discuss,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. We don't need a motion. It's under oral communications. There's no current business. There's no current business. There's no item on the agenda. A council member can ask for that item to come back, as I have suggested should happen.